Okay, everyone, we are taking a first look at Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. We are playing on the Nintendo Switch. Keep in mind, this is a review copy provided by the publisher. This dropped last week, I want to say, or just over a week ago on like PlayStation 4 and Xbox, and it came like a week and a half later to Switch. Um, this is a remaster, obviously, of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit that came out last generation PS3 and Xbox 360. This is a Criterion joint, of Burnout fame. Also, keep in mind that this isn't a full price game. It's like 35 on the Switch, and I think it might be a little bit more expensive on the Switch because uh, Switch games are more expensive. So yeah, this is the second remaster that they're doing in the last couple of months, right? Because EA did like Burnout Paradise Remaster, which was also a Criterion joint. But I'm gonna say off the bat, I prefer this game. I prefer Hot Pursuit over Burnout Paradise. In my opinion, this might be one of the best games that Criterion has ever made. And Criterion is like infamous, not even famous, infamous for making arcade racers. Everybody loves like Burnout 1, 2, 3, and Revenge. Yeah, I think this is in their like top 3 games they've ever made. And
Welcome to Autolog, the connected heart of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
I'm not going to talk over
Autolog
this.
puts friends at the center of your game, allowing you to easily connect, compare, and compete with all your friends playing Need for Speed. Hot Pursuit Online is where you connect and compete with up to 7 other players, earning bounty towards your cop or racer careers. Head into Seacrest County to earn bounty and progress your career as either a cop or a racer in solo events. Autolog Recommends is an all-new innovation in social competition. Here, Autolog
wasn't
recommend
2010.
events to you based on what your friends have been playing. To get started right away, head into the career.
So when this game originally came out around 2010, this was one of the first like arcade racers or racers to push like always connected, and you're always like racing against your friends' times. Like how we see in the Forzas these days and everything. This was one of the first games to kind of push that race against your friends. Paradise did it, but like this was more honed in. You're always seeing your friends' times and always connected. Autolog recommends. And the big change that they've done here, I think this might be one of the only few racers on Switch that is it's got crossplay. You can turn on crossplay and it uses like EA's backend, so you can race with people who's playing on the other consoles and PC. So let's go straight into so that's like actually for Switch that is like super perfect because it hasn't got a lot of arcade racers, but also with Switch Online and everything, like if you like arcade racing, you like playing online, you're kind of like a couple of months after a game's releases, right? Unless it's Mario Kart, you have nobody to play with. So the fact that this has got crossplay is like a big bonus, which you can like turn on from the menus. So if you didn't play this game, a lot of people might like, especially with the Switch, right? A lot of people are coming into. We've got younger audience coming into gaming, or like 10 years ago seems like forever. So a lot of people might have missed out on this. This is like arcade racer, obviously by Criterion, like I said. And the big thing was this for like the big difference for this game was you could play as like just a normal street racer, or you could play as the cops. And like so if we just play the first race. So it's got the classic, after you do an event, you unlock cars. This was way more
dream. The dream of a roadster that is more original, more sporty, and more liberated than ever. By taking an idea back to the basics,
they do this for every car. It's just this game was like very cool. I'm such a fan of this game. So yeah, like you can like slipstream, you can like bump into other cars to how to gain your turbo boost meter. So it played a lot like the Burnout games, but obviously it had the full license of, you know, like real world cars. Um and it was way more focused than Paradise. Um it was way more you can look at the map screen and pick a race and go do that race. That's why I kind of preferred it more to Paradise. Um, so yeah, you have a boost meter, you have a damage meter, but the map was way more. It was way more open ended, and the courses, the tracks were like everything wasn't so compact. So it felt way more arcade racery. And I think this feels better than Paradise also. It feels more like a Burnout. Not super floaty like Burnout, but like borderline harking back to like Outrun kind of style, because like you can do like this kind of stuff where you're always like power sliding around bends and holding long slides, which is like hella fun to do. It has a full licensed soundtrack. Obviously I had to turn it off. I think there's like it could be super nostalgia. The soundtrack still kind of holds up for me. But yeah, you can do things like do your turbo boost to control your slide, or like come out of your slide more, or like power into slide, which is like is always a good mechanic for an arcade racer. And yeah, like, you know, drive into oncoming traffic and bump cars to build up your boost. You have got a handbrake. One thing I am finding on the remaster, so on the Switch it hasn't got analog controls. So when you press the accelerator, you use the shoulder button. So it's like as soon as you tap it, it's full acceleration. So you haven't got like throttle control. And the handbrake also feels a bit like sharp. What's the best way to describe that? It's like almost like, if you've got any drivers in the chat, it's like, you know, if you pull your handbrake and it, like you pull it at like to its maximum, it's almost like full stop. So it's kind of you got to be careful when you pull the handbrake. You should be using more of your brake to initiate your power slides, and only use your handbrake on like a sharp bend. But yeah, even like what is it been now, like 10 years later, the game still feels great. We don't get a lot of arcade racers these days, but I love this game. I'm just gonna stay up front. Like, there's no point doing it. Oh, spoilers. Oh, first look. Yeah, no, I love this game. Just straight up, I love everything about this game. The fact that it's on Switch, it's got crossplay. One of my favorite racers from last gen. I still think it holds up. It still drives great for arcade racer. Like, is a remaster, like from what I saw, because the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One ports are out. Everybody's saying, like, you know, they didn't do like a crazy amount of work to it. Like, it's got like a little bit of a visual upgrade, but it's not like insane. It's not like a remaster or anything like what Activision's doing, right, from the ground up or anything like that. It's still that game, just cleaned up a little bit. So maybe that is a little bit of a criticism of it, but again, not a full priced game. And also I've noticed on the Switch, like, the audio seems very hot. Like, technical term, it seems like I've tried to turn it down and everything as well, but it seems like it's always like they turned the gain up way too high when they was porting this over. And no matter how low I turn it, it seems like it's not distorting, but to my ears, I'm like, oh my god, this seems a little bit hot. So yeah, after you do races, your wanted level increases. The higher your wanted level is, like, you get more rewards, new cars. If you're the police later on, from what I can remember, it's been a while now, you're going to get like abilities on your car. Like you use your D-pad, so you could pull out like spike strips and stuff. How to stop the cops. And wait, I played so many of Criterion's races. I think that was this one. We'll find out in a couple of minutes. Like the cops have ways to stop you, and then you have ways to stop the cops. So yeah, that's if you're playing as a non-cop, and then you can play as a cop. Back in 2010, I don't know, maybe it was fun to play as cops. In 2020, okay, I don't know if that much. Oh, let me show. There's an intro video. There was an intro video for soon as you be the non-cops, but it's got licensed music all over it, so I couldn't show you. It was just like, oh yeah, race, slipstream, hit stuff, get your wanted level up. And it does the same thing for the cops, but
welcome, cadet.
With it's got no licensed music, so I can show this off.
You begin your career as a rank 1 cadet with limited access to the department.
It does something similar for if you're not cops.
Your career with the SCPD will be measured on your performance in the field. All of your actions are monitored and recorded in the system as bounty. The more bounty you are awarded during an active mission, the faster you will progress through the cop ranks.
I did have to turn the brightness up a little bit. It has got the option in there, which is always a good thing. I felt like the default brightness was a little bit low.
As an interceptor, you are authorized to use any available force to bring the suspect in. The objective is to bust the suspect in the shortest amount of time, minimizing impact on the population of Seacrest County. Use this system to give your vehicle a short burst of acceleration, enabling you to close the gap or impact the suspect with more force. If the suspect gets too far away, there will be a limited time to re-engage before the assignment is over. Stay close and stay sharp.
All right, we got it. So yeah, crossplay, once again, great. Which should add longevity to this game. Way more focused than Burnout Paradise, I think, and way more enjoyable to like race and drive. Like later on, all this map opens out and there's like events all over the place. Like if you've played Forza, like Forza 4 and 3, and how you look at the map and there's like click on any race and go to it, is like it feels a lot like that. Like, and every event, like if you can go down, you unlock new events. This also has the DLC included in it. I can remember playing this game on my PS3 until like I started getting stick drift, and it's Switch, so I shouldn't mention stick drift. But I can remember playing this on my PS3 until my stick started to drift, and then because it was late PS3, I was still playing this until they did do a follow up to this. I don't think the follow, like literally this was getting 10 out of 10 when this came out. This was getting 10 out of 10s. Like you can go back and look at the Metacritic scores for this game, and it was getting 10 out of 10s at the board. All right, hold on. So they did a follow up to this. Most Wanted, I think, was the follow up to this. It still got like 9s and stuff, but it didn't get as high reviewed as this because they like built on this game, right? So yeah, like the trailers and everything was for this. Oh, you could be the cops, and then you can take out the racers, and it was like very multiplayer focused as well. All right, here. But we ain't got none of our abilities yet. We'll probably unlock them. And if I'm remembering the wrong game and we don't get our abilities, I'm gonna call this out. I'm pretty sure, or it might have been Most Wanted. We get abilities.
Target has been apprehended. All units stand down.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I feel dirty. I'm sorry. I feel dirty because I had to be the cops. But even back then, no, like the original, like later on you get better cops cars, but the cop cars that you start with are very like heavy, like classic like Burnout style, right? You know, you have certain cars that are like better to ram people with, certain cars that are faster. Even the presentation and everything is still slick. Obviously, it doesn't look as sharp now with next gen and everything now. But like it still totally works. All right, so that's enough of that. We're just gonna play for a while. I might have to keep muting audio just to dodge the licensed soundtrack because it's all over the joint. I'm trying to think if this was. Hold on, what are we driving first? I want top speed. I won't. All right, should we just? No, we're not gonna go with the Porsche again. Go with the RX. Red RX, sure.
The RX-8.
Every car has a little like talking over slick intro. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like EA had picked them up. Had EA picked them up when they released this? They had, right? But this was their first time getting hold of the need for speed license because they did so well with Paradise. Because the Burnout games are great and everybody knew them from Criterion from the Burnout games. And then Paradise just did so well. And then this was the first time I think they were getting like to use like licensed cars. Like in the Burnout games, we always know, oh, that's clearly that so-and-so licensed car. But here it was, oh, yo, you actually get to see the real names of the cars, which always, there's just something about if you're a car fan, even if you're an arcade racer fan, it's just something that, like, seeing the real names of the cars. Uh-oh. There's the fuzz. So yeah, there's some events where... Oh, driving. Okay, hold on. I haven't got any way to check the frame rate and stuff. Whatever it is stable. I think it might be 30. But like, even for Switch, I'm not seeing major glitches and stuff. I actually don't know what the original ran at.
Suspect is fighting back. I'm taking damage.
Paradise ran pretty well also. I mean, I'm with the, like, I could have covered this on PlayStation and everything. I specifically wanted to cover this on Switch because the Switch is lacking for a lot of arcade racers. This product just interested me so much more on Switch. Because there's so many races on PlayStation and Xbox. This would just be a cool nostalgia trip, right? On PlayStation and Xbox. But here it's actually like, oh wait, like what legitimately else are you going to play for arcade racers? And just because there isn't a lot of arcade racers, this goes straight. Yeah, take that, Fuzz. This goes straight up on, like, high on the list, right?
Wrecker is unavailable at the moment. Hold tight.
Yeah, so for play-wise, it feels a lot like the Burnout games, but just tighter. Not as, like, the Burnout games were a lot more focused on, like, bump into people, and I would say later Burnout games than, like, Revenge, right? Revenge felt way more. Again, we're checking out old, like a 10-year-old game, and then I'm gonna reference a 15-year-old game to say, yeah, this is how this feels and plays like. This is gonna be so useful to everybody who's watching the highlight. Professional content creator.
Contact.
Later on, it does get quite challenging. Later on, the cars do get like so fast. It does get super challenging. One crash and you ain't gonna get gold. That goes. They got some good memories of Hot Pursuit. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't get as into the follow up to this. Um well, obviously there I don't know why I keep saying obviously. There's different like race types. You got duel race, hot pursuit, time trial. If I can show off. And then, you know, when you're the cops, interceptor, rapid response. But see what I mean? Like way more focused than Burnout Paradise. Like some people like that about Paradise, that you go up to any light and like hit the brakes and you can race on that light. But like it was sometimes it felt like a chore to just get in and race. With this, I was like, okay, anytime I could just click on the thing and just go race. You know, I don't want to drive around the open. You can do free ride and drive around the open world, but if you want to focus just on racing, so this did the all auto log thing and everything's always connected, but it brought it back a little bit from like it felt more like the menus even felt more like their earlier Burnout games where it was just like, oh, pick a race, go race, you know, and long roads and like nice S-bends where you can like power slide around. It's a good chance to show off the water effects here actually. So it's like I could have booted up like the PlayStation free version and checked it out, but like this could be just like this. You know how if you go back and play old games now and you're like, oh wait, this is not what I remember this looking like. It looks terrible because, you know, it's a 10-15-year-old game. So it's like hard for me to, because I haven't gone back to that game in like ages. Like it's hard for me to compare how much of a graphics upgrade this is, because this looks good to me, but only because in my imagination this is what the game looked like. It looked good when I was playing it years ago, right? So I'll just take the word of, like, you know, from what I'm hearing on the grapevines to say that like it's not like a crazy remaster. But then again, we're also playing on the Switch, so I wasn't expecting like crazy stuff on the Switch anyway. So that's why I was saying that this is just way more of an interesting product for me here on this platform. That's also why I covered Paradise here. I feel like this is what this, I mean, unless you just buy everything, right? But like this is gonna be competing with Paradise and like Grid. So like maybe like get Paradise if you like the more like open world stuff. Like go drive up to a light and, you know, race around the world kind of stuff. If you're more like, nah, I just want to focus on the racing, pick a race, go race, have, you know, I would pick this. But like in Paradise, how many, like you don't have a lot of like courses that you can do power slides like that on, right? Like you're racing in a city and everything just feels tight and compact. But here is like you're made to go fast and power slide around bends, which I find way more enjoyable. Sure, in like some of the outskirt maps in Paradise like were like this, but like it's like a lot of the game is like this here. I just find it way more of an enjoyable racer. The only thing that is like, has it been long enough to make a remaster of this? Because it was just last generation, right? I did play it late into the generation, so maybe it hasn't been long enough for me. But again, because I like this game so much, I'm not complaining. Maybe like if it would have been longer in like 5-10 more years, they would have done a full remaster of it. Then again, EA really doesn't do like Activision style from the ground up full remasters, right? So all this does is get me like more hyped for the latest, because Criterion is working on another arcade racer, right? So I hope they go back to some of their earlier work like this, because so good. Still feels great to play if you like arcade racers. If you're coming into this thinking, oh, I'm a Gran Turismo fan and I like sim stuff, yeah, that's not what this is. Also, for like from the Paradise stuff, if you're like expecting like bikes and craziness and all that, this is like car focused. Chat goes, can you turn off the cop lights? It's distracting. Oh, next time we play as a cop, that's the kind of feedback. I'll test it right now for you, chat, actually. Oh, the cop's got a 911 turbo, the classic. All right. Let's try the Impreza so it doesn't feel like a tank. And we'll test it right now.
The Subaru Technica International Division was created in the late 1980s to
I've got this installed on my external SD card. I can't remember. Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't remember how big the download was. I think it was between 4 and 8 gig. It's probably easy enough to find out online if you're worried about space and stuff. November has been a busy month. Loads of games out at the moment. If you're watching this as a highlight over on YouTube or Twitch, got loads of highlights of first looks of all the new games that come out over the last couple of weeks. Make sure you go check them out. Appreciate it. All right, let's test.
All units, we have a high priority situation on Mission Beach.
Oh, maybe you can't. That's weird. I know on so you could turn off the headlights. You can't turn off the actually. Lens flare? It obviously is not lens flare, but I'm just trying to think. Got motion blur settings as well. I'm just
Contact.
it's like now that chat is pointed it out to me, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. It is distracting. I didn't see it before. Thanks, chat. Why are you going into steering? I'm just seeing if there's any other headlights. Yeah, it's just headlights. Oh, and I was right, chat. See, I haven't got like such an old memory. You do get special abilities on your D-pad later. Oh, 10 out of 10 for my memory. You unlock that in a little while. It doesn't seem like you can. Yeah, unfortunately, you can't. Oh, no. You know I'm blaming my Twitch chat for that, right? You have got a view change. So you got bonnet cam on the tarmac cam, whatever you want to call it. No in-car cam. Okay, mistakes were made. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're still fine. I mean, I'm proud that I'm the worst cop on planet Earth. Also, I'm not seeing an option for manual transmission here. Like, if that's your thing, like, I kind of drive like arcade racers in auto anyway, but yeah, I haven't seen it anywhere. Get your busted ass vehicle. Oh, I missed him. All right, don't make speeches unless you hit the car.
I don't think that's the last we'll see of him.
Get your busted ass vehicle off the road. It is kind of,
Pursuit is headed onto Sunset
it is
Drive.
satisfying to play the cops here though, to like take out other cars.
I've made contact. My vehicle has taken damage.
But it is like a fun twist to this game where play as cops to take out the racers, or play as the racers to lose sight of the cops. And obviously it gets more in-depth later where you get like special abilities like spike strips to make it easier, because the cars get faster and harder to take down. They give you abilities, and then the race drivers get like counter abilities. There's like a rock, paper, scissors kind of
I've made
thing.
contact. He has sustained some damage.
After this one, what we'll do is we'll play a little bit further until I unlock that, so I can show that off, because I'm sure you don't want to see like a crazy long video.
Officers
Maybe
have the
we'll
suspect
cut
in
back.
custody. This thing is over.
Because more people are probably just curious to watch this video for performance wise, to see how it runs. Unlocks for days. Wow, legitimately unlocks for days. Oh, and you got like these preview events here where it lets you drive a car that you haven't unlocked yet, from what I remember correct. So yeah, you get like to see like later on like some of the faster cars you unlock, and like that's got some cool exotic
Horatio
cars.
Pagani and his team have once again created a piece of art able to speed over 350 kilometers per hour.
There was just something so cool about this game back in when it first came out. So we'll do this so you can see what one of the faster cars like looks like. You can't see what it feels like. And then we'll cut back once we get the ability, so I can just show those off. Yeah, but this is gonna be a weird video for me because it's more like it's hard to criticize a game that you're like super fond of, right? Because you're just a fan. It's like the same way where I saw a lot of people covering Burnout Paradise and everybody was losing their mind. I was like, oh my god, Paradise is coming out! And I was just like, I mean, I'll be interested when this comes out, because I wasn't a crazy Paradise fan, but like now I'm in the same boat as well, and I'm like, you know, I'm just waxing lyrical about this game because I really enjoy it. So the Zonda is like way more fidgety. It's way more faster, but like grip wise, and the later events, like you got like the big like 4-minute races that you got to drive perfectly. to beat the time, so it does get quite challenging. Oh no, right here. Just don't want to crash. You want to build up. You want to build up your turbo. Right, first one we got a silver on. If you turn on crossplay, it enables your like EA profile name. This is the exact same name, but they put like a letter in front of it or something. If you want to be able to play with PlayStation and Xbox. What's interesting, this isn't coming to next gen, PS5 and everything. So this came out like right at the end of like last gen. So like PlayStation, Xbox users might be playing on their backward compatibility list. It would be nice if it would have come to like PlayStation 5 and Xbox, because again, I think is one of Criterion's best racing games they've ever made. So and you want the online to be active because it's got crossplay. That would have been good, but like at least on those consoles, people can play it through back compatibility. All right, so we'll jump right back when we unlock some of those abilities, so you can see those, and then I'll be right back.
Your
Oh,
car
never
has been
mind. Here we go.
installed with the latest anti-pursuit technology, the Spike Strip. Based on SCPD technology, the system releases a lethal spiked strip from the rear of your car. Your vehicle can only carry a limited number of strips and will take time to recharge after each use, so only fire when you are confirmed a hit. Your heads-up display will let you know when the system is online.
Yeah, and then like this, you get like a couple of abilities, and then for the cops, you get like counter abilities. And like once you unlock a car, also it's not you don't have to pay for it and buy it and then upgrade it individually. There's no like,
An expression of joy. The BMW Z4.
There wasn't like car upgrades here, and you don't pay for individual cars. You just unlock them to be able to use them in races. So way more simpler when it comes to that, right? So if you look at it again, compare it to Paradise, because that was the game they made before this. Like narrowed the scope, but made it way more about just racing, you know? So there you can see we're going to get turbo, we're going to get jammer later on, we're going to get EMP. I think certain things are locked to, like if you're police or civilian cars. Already like the later on cars feel way more agile. It's weird to say, but the Porsche felt stiff. Alright, let's wait for the fuzz to come behind me. Oh, that was terrible. Oh no, no, okay, it still counts.
Spike strip missed the target.
Really? Did it though? Did it though? I was trying to come first. Did it though? Did it though, video game? Uh-oh. Well, I guess we can't use this spike strip on him. Let's check what the rubber banding is like, actually. Can I go, like, so fast that the cops won't come nowhere near me? Oops, my finger slipped. Also, it's got a bit of delay before it comes out, so that spike strip was useless.
Central requesting a roadblock.
Oh, so I think that's one of the abilities for the cops. Like
All units,
roadblocks.
roadblock office is ready and awaiting further orders.
Got him.
Suspect is driving extremely dangerously. We've got to end this now.
Oh my god, this is driving extremely dangerously. And again, it feels so satisfying to power slide in this. Oh! Okay.
All units move in. All units
Of him. Spike strip. Oh, I missed it.
Officer, please proceed with caution.
Have I gone to your left? I haven't. Alright, let's just race to the finish. It's like when you press it, it takes like a second to deploy. Donkey Kong wanted. That 350Z color is ugly. All right, so let's do this one where like call roadblocks to. So this will show you
As
like
a member
the
of the SCPD, you have the full
abilities
backing
that
of
the
command
cops
center
get.
on every mission. For this next mission, command has approved the use of local roadblock units. Calling in the units will set up a roadblock ahead of you and the suspect on the road. Any collision with the roadblock will cause the suspect heavy damage and slow them down, giving you an opportunity to move in.
So this is like the kind of like, you know, rock, paper, scissors of. I just kind of want to use the Porsche, but it'll probably get damaged. Like, you know what? Let's use the Porsche.
In pursuit of a Dodge Charger on Grand Ocean Road. Measuring speeds in excess of 150 miles per hour. Nothing is slowing this guy down.
Central confirmed. Let the interceptor take over. Interceptor 1, this is Central. Roadblock units are approved for use. Move in.
Yeah, some of the, like, you get blocks, you get spikes, you get EMP, and then you get helicopter, I think, right? I think it was helicopter. And then the helicopter can... Like, it just blocks your way, or it can... It's been a while, I can't remember what the helicopter does. Like, it goes in front of the car and... either releases spike strips in front, or it tries to block your way.
Roger that, 1073 approved. Roadblock units deploying directly ahead of you.
Alright, we want to actually go behind him now because
Roadblock reporting 1050. All units move in.
we wanted to at least see the roadblocks. Oh, this guy's definitely a drunk driver.
He has sustained some damage.
It's interesting on this as well. Like the traffic felt much more Burnout-esque in this. Like the way you can see them stop and the way you bounce off of them.
Suspect is heavily damaged. Moving in for the arrest.
That's confirmed. Your roadblock is in position.
Where is he?
Driver involved in a 1050 with police roadblock. All units move in.
Got him.
Suspect vehicles have been stopped. Good job, officer.
Yeah, and that's basically the gist of Hot Pursuit. Is in like, and that's why, you know, that was the gimmick, if you will call it, of this game, of why they called it Hot Pursuit, because we've added in cops, or added back in the cops, because I'm sure there was cops in like the earlier Burnout games. Sorry, in the earlier Need for Speed games, right? But like for a Criterion game, cops was a new thing for them, right? Because I don't think they had messed with the cop mechanic before. Yeah, let's do one more race, and there's a preview as well on a section of the overworld map that we haven't done before, so you get to see a new track, and also you get to see a preview of this.
Originating from the pits of Le Mans after a 16th
Camaro
overall
GT.
victory, the engineers went on to develop a concept to show what was technologically feasible. 1,270 handcrafted units were built because exclusivity occasionally needs a limit. Underpinning the Carrera GT is a self-supporting carbon fiber body, which can handle 603
Like, if you're a car
bhp
fan,
at
this
a
is
speed
still
of
cool to hear.
201 miles
But
per
come on,
hour.
arcade racers, I don't know if, you know, the Gran Turismo fans are going to be here and wanting to know all that stats, but we changed to like bonnet or road cam. I thought you'd be able to see the rain effects, the baked in reflections on the roads a bit better if you can. I can remember using bonnet cam a lot when you used to do previews, like this race type, not preview video games. When you used to do the preview race type or the time trial, because later on to get the gold, it was so important because that's how you unlock other stuff, depending on your medals. Probably should have power slid round. Oh, Neil! Should have power slid round there to gain more turbo boost. That called for a handbrake. And again, give me my turbo. Handbrake feels better in the more exotic, faster cars. Feels like you use it to initiate better power slides. I mean, I feel like there you have it. That was a good first look at Need for Speed Hot Pursuit on Nintendo Switch, right? That kind of gives you an idea of what this is. Way more focused arcade racer from Criterion. One of my favorites from last generation. I'm super happy that this is on Switch. So, like hell of bias, right? Because I am like one of the best arcade racers from last generation, if not the best. So yeah, now it's here on the Switch. Once again, it's got like a full licensed soundtrack. It's got the original licensed soundtrack from the game when it came out. I think like Burnout Paradise, they added like some extra tracks, I think, or like some of the Burnout tracks were in there. Like here, you don't have a like you can't individually like set your playlist or like what you want to play or what you don't. Is just like shuffle or sequential. Yeah, but all in all, great arcade racer on the Nintendo Switch now. The fact that they've added that crossplay hopefully will help with longevity and getting matches in. It'd be kind of nice to see this to come to PS5 and like next gen, right? So more people, so it has you have more people to play with, right? That have an active community for this game. This will be going up as a highlight over on Twitch and YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe or follow button. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it very much. Turn those notification bells on. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. Did you play this originally when it came out on PlayStation 3? How fondly do you remember this? How high do you rate this for like Criterion's, like, you know, arcade racers? Do you prefer it over, you know, Paradise? I do. Don't forget we stream a couple times a week over on Twitch. We've got a community Discord and a Twitter. All that information will be in the description. Come check us out. Anyway, with that, we're gonna call it for this one. Much love. Peace.